and welcome the host of the local plug, my brothers Brent Van Wilder and the one and only Magic Baby.
Oak 93.5 FM. You are tapped in to the local plug. This is your man Brent Van Wilder, and I'm on the scene with my homie
Magic Baby.
And we have our guests in here tonight. Our first guest coming up, we have my man Mr. Ken Branson from Basement to Balcony. He definitely got an inspirational story to share. Ken, say what's up to the people.
What up, fam?
What up, what up? Glad to have you here today. Later on tonight, we have a beautiful young lady with a beautiful soul, beautiful content. Just C.I. was got some dope poetry for us.
Bars.
So, you know, every Thursday we here at Oak 93.5 from 7 to 9 p.m. And we here to connect our entrepreneurs and our local artists. I want to say our local businesses. I don't ever want to categorize them as small because there's nothing small about doing big things. So, with that being said, Kev, you know what's the hot topic for tonight?
Tonight's hot topic is operating a successful business.
And brand.
Or brand.
And brand.
Okay.
Because your brand is your business. Like when you brand yourself, you are making yourself known as a business. And so you got to learn how to operate yourself too, how to maneuver through so you can have people, how they say, F with you, bro. Can't curse, but I mean, like I did that though. So we got some good music coming up for you, some good conversation. Please do not go far. Stay tuned. If you're listening on the World Wide Web, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody in the Raleigh area that's listening on the radio, thank you for tuning in. So let's get into some music, and then we're gonna get into this hot topic.
What you got for him?
Man, coming up next, I got some Pusha T,
some
Jay-Z.
Okay.
I mean that new Neck and Wrist.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna hit them off with some classic Jadakiss style, some locks, and then I got some classic Busta M too. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all tapped into the local plug, Oak 93.5 FM. You are tapped into the local plug. This is your man Brent Van Wilder. I'm here with my homie.
It's your boy Magic Baby.
And we have our guest, Ken Branson from Basement to Balcony.
Yeah.
And tonight we're talking about how to operate a successful brand and a successful business.
Okay.
So Ken, man, let us know your story.
Basement to Balcony.
Basement to Balcony, what's your business?
Man, listen, storytelling, video production, photos, I mean, you name it, bro. Like, we specialize in giving the people what they want. I ain't gonna dive into the story, bro, because we'll be here all day long. You feel me?
Give us a piece of it. Give us a piece of it.
Piece of it. 13-time convicted felon, stealing money from ATM machines back, 2004.
He was like the homies off a barbershop.
Man, listen, bro, I thought I had it popping, but I really didn't. You know what I mean? But needless to say, it landed me an extensive criminal background and left me with nothing but entrepreneurship, bro, that I had to pursue. Or else I would have been like the 80 to 90% recidivism rate of fellas that go back to prison after they go their first time, right? You feel what I'm saying? So entrepreneurship was the way to go. Started in the basement of my church, learned how to edit videos because a girl told me that I couldn't. She told me that I couldn't do it, bro. But at the end of the day, like I took that as negative. I took that negative fuel and turned it into something positive. And learned how to edit videos right there in the basement of the church I was attending at the time. 6 days later, had my first video on YouTube. It's still there to this day, fam. December 2007. It's horrible, right? But it's still up and reminds me of where I come from. And before you know it, man, we was doing sports action photography. We was doing some on-site printing for special events. Started doing wedding films. Started doing storytelling. And man, 15 years later, man, I look up and this is where I'm at today.
That's great, yo. Because you basically just built your business from the bottom up.
Man, we went from the basement to the balcony. You understand what I'm saying?
I like that. It comes in full circle.
That's it, bro.
So in building this business and building your brand, right now you're operating on a full scale. You going full throttle in it. How did you first, as you started, how did you develop your brand? How did you develop what you wanted as far as your purpose as an entrepreneur?
That's a good question, man. I say I let everybody know from the rip. If you ain't solving no problems, you ain't got no business. Right at the end of the day, if you just making nice, colorful beads to go on a bracelet, that's cool, that's fine, handy dandy or whatever. But if it's not solving a problem for somebody, nobody's going to give you their hard-earned dollars for just your hobby. You have to be solving a problem of theirs for them to give you your hard-earned dollars, bro. And that's how I developed my brand. I went out and I found out what the market needs, and I was able to fulfill those needs hand over fist.
Now that's definitely how you develop what your business should be. Like, you got to find the problem.
Yeah.
Got to find the solution. A lot of people know what the problem is when they go into a business, but some people don't have solutions, which is absolutely correct. As far as you developed your brand, you also develop your skill and your talent. And you said it started with editing videos. How did you expand your brand and your business to go out and do more?
Expand, man. Expansion came from 100% word of mouth. Like, I take that back. Out of 15 years of doing this thing, man, I probably had less than 5 cold calls with people like, yo, I Googled a videographer in Durham and I found your name. I probably had less than 5 cold calls of people who Google me. But other than that, I say 99.99% of the people who contact me, they've seen me do business with somebody at least 5 to 7 times before they was like, okay, this brother tried and true, right? Most times it's like, okay, 2 to 4 times, somebody says something or mention something about a product or service, you rock with it. But bro, no, it takes Ken Branson and some of us in the black community 5 to 7 times, you know what I mean, before somebody realize you tried the true. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that's how it went, man. That's how I expanded. The word of mouth went around that Ken can do it. Right. And early on in my business, I was the jack of all trades and the master of none. So I was doing everything, man. I was taking pictures everywhere. I was doing event photography. I was doing some portraiture. The next thing you know, we started doing video. I was filming events. I was filming weddings. I was filming everything all over the place. I was doing churches. I was just everywhere, running myself so ragged, so thin. But had I not ever took that path, I would not be where I'm at today, where I can find a niche and ride in it, right? And everything else I can push that to some of my colleagues, or I can just say, you know what, I don't have the capacity to fulfill that service for you anymore. So that's how I expanded right there, bro.
Okay, so we're talking about operating a successful business, but I guess that's everybody's personal opinion, but I feel like in reality, there is a such thing as operating a successful business. What do you think, or what are some of the keys to doing that?
Hey, listen, one of the areas that I now know in hindsight, because we know hindsight is 20/20, right? One of the areas that I now know that I did not fulfill in how to operate a successful business is putting the necessary systems and processes in place so that your business can thrive or survive or keep going without you being there.
So some real structure.
Real structure, bro.
Okay.
A book called E-Myths. MYTHS, E-Myths by Michael Gerber, right? It talks about how to build structure. For instance, I'm a photographer, right? When you go take pictures, somebody has to bring in the client, like intake. Then somebody has to kind of, get some client information. I guess that's intake too. But then a photographer has to actually go shoot it. After the photographer shoots it, you got to come back. Somebody got to edit the pictures. Once it's edited, somebody has to return the images to the client, and then somebody else has to follow up with that client and try to get some repeat business some way, somehow, right? That's at least 3 or 4 different positions right there that needs to be fulfilled. And that book called E-Myths talks about how to pretty much promote yourself. I ain't gonna say fire yourself, but promote yourself to the next position so that you can put systems and processes in place to fulfill the position you just came from, and you can eventually work yourself out of these positions so you can be the real CEO, right? So that's one area that I did not know about. Listen, I'm a 13-time convicted felon. I didn't know anything about building a business this way. So now that I know, it's like you can't teach your old dog new tricks, bro. So I'm like, I ain't trying to build no systems and processes 15 years in the game. So we just gonna keep rocking it out like a solopreneur, as a solopreneur, but I do have contractors and stuff that comes on different projects. So systems and processes, bro, is definitely key to building, operating a successful business and brand.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, we got more questions for you because we definitely want to know how you did it. We want to know what your personal steps were and what was your mindset going into it. But before we get into that, we're gonna get into a couple more songs. We're gonna transition to some classic hip hop real quick. Get the people what they want. Let you get your thoughts together on how you can let the people know exactly some of the steps that you took to building your successful business. So everybody stay locked in. You are tapped into the local plug. Oh, 93.5 FM. You are tapped into the local plug. This is your man, Brent Van Wilder. I'm here with my homie.
It's your boy Magic, baby.
And we have our guest, Ken Branson from Basement to Balconies. What's happening?
What it do?
We was having us a good conversation about building, operating a successful business and brand. And before we left out, I asked you what was your plan as far as jumping into your businesses, and what was your vision?
So
What did you see?
For the people, we talking about your plan as far as you already you know what you're doing. Now you're trying to figure out how you gonna do it. What was your strategy in that moment?
That's a good question, man. I tell you what, when I first started this Joker, my goal, my plan was to stay out of prison. You feel what I'm saying? Listen, I had a fresh child support order, about $438 a month, and I had restitution to pay back, which was over $600 a month, bro. So literally, I had over $1,000 of money to pay the government just to stay out of prison. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I knew nothing about a plan. I knew nothing, but that was my plan out the gate. Okay, what you got to say about that, bro? That joke was crazy,
Play,
yeah.
bro. That's a good play.
Not going back. That's the plan.
It
Don't
worked,
go back.
You know what I'm saying?
And it worked.
It worked for a minute. But at the end of the day, I had to find something else, right? Because when you living in that survival mentality for so long, right, grinding, hustling, you burn out quickly, and I really did. So I had to really step back and kind of reevaluate this thing and say, you know what, I'm a storyteller now, right? And I started storytelling. Period. I started calling myself a storyteller. I started doing videos to say I was a storyteller. I started teaching storytelling. I started telling my own story, and I started operating as a storyteller, right? So my new plan now, after I left the grind mode, the survival mode, the hustle mentality, is to make sure I tell stories of the local heroes. You feel what I'm saying? Like, make sure I told the stories of small businesses and corporations and entrepreneurs who looking for something a little different other than commercials and advertisement, right, to reach their target audience. So I had to get creative with a new plan, and that's what it was.
Yeah, that's real dope.
So your vision changed. That's what it sounded. Your vision changed from not going back to what? Like, what was that vision that you seen after you got it clear that I'm an entrepreneur? So what's my vision now that I know I'm not going back?
Yeah, I said earlier today on Facebook that I was not going to say any cliches, but I'm about to say a cliche right now. I literally went from surviving to thriving. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, not when you think of hustling, you think of like, I got a product or service, I need to get it out for a couple dollars, whatever. I can take what, give me whatever. I'm gonna take whatever I can get.
Quick flip, yeah.
Quick flip. You feel what I'm saying? And now it started to go more strategic. I'm starting to now come into knowing what my value is to the marketplace, and I can now demand a higher price so I can work a little bit less and make a little bit more money. You understand what I'm saying? So the plan is right now is storytelling, right? We teach storytelling. I tell my own story, and also I operate in storytelling as well, like by telling other people's story. That's the plan right now. That's the one we're gonna rock with until we get a new vision, new mission, and then we'll make adjustments as things come along.
All right. So I guess one of the best questions I can ask is, where can people locate you at? Like, what's your handles for people that need your service, that they can come to you for it? Where can they see your work?
That's what's up, man. Most of all of my work is going to be on YouTube. You can search Mastermind Productions. I don't even know the hyperlink, but YouTube Mastermind Productions first and foremost. Like, I'm literally talking, the first video I ever created, December 2007, is up on that Joker. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll see how horrible it is, but I love it and I will not take it down because it reminds me of how far I've come. So YouTube, Mastermind Productions. Also, that's where all my video stuff is. BasementToBalcony.com. It's all spelled out. Basement, the letter T, the letter O, balcony.com is the website, where we're building a public speaking platform, right, where we are reaching out to other convicted felons, or the fancy word is justice involved individuals, or returning citizens. I don't even know what we call ourselves these days, but I'm building a platform to reach those, man, and teach them what I done to build a successful business, and hopefully they can catch a gem or two, and do the same thing. I'm on Facebook as well as Ken Branson. And I'm on TikTok as Basement to Balcony, same as my website, and of course right here on IG as Basement to Balcony as well.
All right, bro. Well, I want to let you know we appreciate you coming up here. Your story has been an inspiration to me personally, and I wanted you to come up here so people can hear your story and understand. You don't have to start from a certain point or even knowing anything. You just gotta get active, have the will to do it, and make it happen.
I appreciate the opportunity, man. It's been, look, 15 years, man. I've been wanting to be on the radio, and I finally got my shot. Right here, baby. We here.
Local plug.
So with that being said, what some give you got any shout outs, and also your dream, you just said it, man. You've been wanting to do this for 15 years. You finally got your chance. So leave an inspirational quote for those who are listening that don't believe that their dreams can come true, man.
Man,
Got the skill.
yo, let me just tell you, once you put that thing out in the atmosphere, listen, I don't know if you're a spiritual believer, religious, whatever, but God or the atmosphere or whatever you believe in, it's not his, her, or its responsibility to give it to you immediately. You know what I'm saying? You just, it's gonna come. You just gotta be patient and persevere, right? And stick to that joker until it happens. You gotta believe it. You gotta speak that thing every single day until it happens. Listen, I've been speaking this thing for 15 years that I wanted to be on the radio. I started my own podcast a while back. People was like, "Oh, you got a radio voice." I was soaking it all up. Like, I want to be on the radio. I just told my son like a week or two ago, I want to be a radio personality. He like, "Go do it, Pops." You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm right here. Oak 93.5. Hit up the website, man. Oak935.org, the local plug, man. Y'all tap in, man. I'm super excited to be here because this is a dream come true after so many years.
Well, we definitely glad we was able to give you the opportunity. We definitely thank you for coming up and sharing your story and dropping the jewels. Trust me, we definitely gonna have you back up because we have a lot more to talk about. We're gonna get into some music, and then coming up next, we got another guest. We got Just See I, a lovely poet out here in the Raleigh Durham area. And yo, stay tuned. This is your man Brent Van Wilder,
It's your boy Magic.
and you are tapped into the local plug. Oh, 93.5 FM. You are tapped into the local plug. This is your man Brent Van Wilder here with my homie.
Your boy Magic, baby.
We want to thank everybody for who's been listening. We just had Ken Branson up here from basement to balcony.
Come on now.
Yeah, man, listen, right? You know,
.com.
I know what I'm
Tap
saying.
in.
Tap in. Thank you. Know what I mean, thank you, assistant pimp. And right now we have a very, very lovely young lady, lovely young artist. Like, I want to make sure that everybody knows she's an artist. She paints pictures with words, and this is what she does. I had a pleasure of working with her a couple weeks ago at an event that my homie, big homie Bear, put on.
Juneteenth event, you know.
Juneteenth, that's right. And I want everybody to give a round of applause for Miss Just See I. Everybody, y'all give it up, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. And as you've been listening, we're talking about building, operating a successful business and brand. And as an artist yourself, you are your brand, right? And I see right here, you are working hard with this book that you have,
Always.
Love, War, and Galore. I like that. The anthology by Ciante Smith.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I got it right then.
Yeah, you say it a little different, but I got a ring to it.
Yeah, Ciante. I like to throw the accent out there when I hear the T at the end, yeah. So tell us, how have you been working on your brand, and how have you been able to operate successfully within your realm?
Right. So, my brand is deeper than music, is deeper than my poetry. I am the brand. My mission statement is, what is the mission of your ministry? And basically that just talks about how you carry yourself along your brand, So the way I present myself, sell myself when I walk out the door to anybody, that's my brand right there, So whether it's my personality, just my kindness, my music, because the music, that's my brand for sure. I just carry it. I make sure it's true to me, and it sells itself.
I like that.
I am the brand.
Word. So what was your plan? I know I used to do a little bit of poetry here and there, and I always did it as a hobby. And I definitely admire people because I grew up around artists such as Miss Jill Scott. You know what I mean, and remember seeing her work as she put it in from the bottom to now. You know what I mean, so what was your plan as far as creating your brand for it to be what you want? Right.
So what I want, authenticity is number one for me. So anything that I put out there, anything that I showcase, it's all authenticity and things that people could relate to. So when I first started with the music thing, one of my mini brands, it started in the car back in my mama's old crib. You know, she used to make me mad. People used to get on my nerves, you know, just everybody. So I would go to the car, you know, and I would just sit out there all night, just typing on the computer to about 2, 3 in the morning. And I come back in the crib, she like, oh, you know, you didn't dip out. Nah, I'm just at the computer, just typing away how I'm feeling, and making it rhyme. And over the years, you know, I didn't look at it as something that I always wanted to do. It was something that I just enjoyed doing. But at some point, when you're working so hard, at some point you decide, hey, I want to work smarter. Okay. And when you start to realize that you are the currency, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to work for nobody. I am the brand. And once and once I got out of my own way and stepped into my power, that's when I realized, okay, it's time to start moving. You got to take that first step, you know, because you wait for the perfect time, but it'll never be the perfect time. Okay. So you just got to go. You just got to do what makes you happy.
Like the church say, just do it.
Just do it. I think that's real dope. I think, so would you just consider yourself as a poet or as a writer, or what category would you?
She's an artist.
Just an artist?
I go with just a writer, to be honest, because I used to want to be behind the scenes. The problem is with that is with stuff that's so true to me, other people don't present it the way I always wanted to. I'm like, I want you to do it this way, you know? And that's when it puts me into my artist mode to just go do it myself. You know, like, you know what, let me step out of my way, get out of my comfort zone, and present it the way that I know I want it to be presented. So I take all the titles. I'm an artist, I'm a poet, I'm a songwriter, I'm whatever you want to name it.
Okay. She said, I do it all.
Yeah.
And so, how long? So you just published this book? How long has it been out?
Yeah, so y'all got the 2 copies. The only 2 copies right now.
Bro.
The only
special. Only on the local plug.
Yeah.
We get those first editions. I'm about to put this in plastic. You feel me?
See, and you know what? I did the matte cover, but I'm gonna change it to the glossy because I told you I start eating and I start getting grease prints on it. So we gonna get the books
real
right.
dope what you're doing, and I'm pretty sure for some of the listeners out there, they're gonna be inspired because. For artists, man, sometimes that lane just feels like it's nowhere, and you have created a lane with your skills. You got this book, you got your poetry, you out there doing shows. How did you even build the courage, or, you know, what made you go out there? What got you to get out there and get to it?
So I had this stuff. I have over 100 songs and poetries for a long time just sitting on my laptop. And, you know, everybody think like, I gotta blow up one day. You know, you want some money, first of all. Times get low. You like, I need a way out of this. I'm tired of going to work every day, working this 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever. And, you know, even though it's not my profit now, you know, what the main thing was for me was just getting out of my own way. And when I went up there, first of all, I was able to do it because it's not my first rodeo, honestly. It's just I go by different things. So I first started with like speech contests. I used to write poetry as a young kid, but I never looked at it as this could be a career, because that's not how you grow up in school thinking. You're thinking, you know, all that stuff is fun, it's hobby, but they telling you, oh, go to school, go to college, da da da. You know, they set your path for you. So I wasn't able to really think of my passion or what I was good at, my creative outlet, as my career later. So once I started to think about it and say, no, that is your way out, that is your outlet, that is your brand, that's when I was able to really step. And my first time performing was actually at an open mic night in Skewers in Durham. And the crowd was drunk and they weren't listening to me, and I was mad. I was mad. But what's crazy is I was looking at those people in the background who won't listen, and it's a whole front row of people, about 3-4 people who was alert the whole time, vibing out. And I realized, like, you just do it to make you happy and focus on what you do and those that are supporting. And that was the main drive to keep going. It's beyond profit, to be honest. But you know, profit's good too.
I told
Profit always good.
I told Brent to hit the applause because I feel like
that was the wrong one.
That was not.
First of all, you ain't engineering, so don't tell me what buttons to push.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm being attentive.
Because I wanted to
not-
applaud her.
Then you clap
and
with your
her
hands.
Push. Okay,
Clap
because a
with
lot
your
of
hands.
artists give up early, and I'm one of those artists. As an example, I've been drawing and writing and doing all this stuff for my whole life. Yeah, drawing. I won't say
I thought he
painting.
had the jar.
The drawing.
Like
He's
the-
been jarring.
I thought he was
No, drawing,
preparing
drawing.
the food shortage.
So
I'm talking about
and
just yeah.
originally when I went to school, it was for graphic design, and I didn't see no real lane, and I didn't see no instant money, and I just fell back from it. So applaud to you for keeping it pushing and finding the
Appreciate
lane. I appreciate you getting it right that time.
I got you, homie. I got you. You gotta keep taking the shot. That's the lesson here, yo. If you
Yeah.
miss the shot, don't hesitate or be scared to take the other shot, the next shot, because not all shots go in.
And the only way you're gonna score is if you keep shooting.
Or ask Allen Iverson. So, I have to bring up the Sixers. So we definitely gonna have more with Jesse I. Definitely would love for you to bless us with a few of your bars.
Oh, yeah.
Know what I
Get right
mean?
to it,
Get
bars.
right to it, bars. So we do got more music coming up. We have the Roots coming up. We have some Common, and then we're gonna hear some bars from Jesse I, yo. You are tapped into the local plug here on Oak 93.5 FM. You are tapped into the local plug. It's your man Brent Van Wilder. I'm here with Jesse and my homie
Magic.
Jesse. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming and gracing us with your presence today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
All day. So this book, Love War Galore. We got the first 2 copies, but I know you're planning on making more. Can you break down what the book not just entails, but the meaning of the book for you?
Yes, definitely. So Love War Galore was me finally taking that first step to put myself out there and make my music more of my career in a way, and to get it out to people first and foremost wherever they are. So it's a collection of songs and poems, and it's 22 chapters. The 22 chapters, each chapter is based off of, first of all, one of my favorite, either a favorite song, a favorite artist, a favorite album. So it's inspired by people who influenced me and my music. Also, each chapter basically is telling a story. So it's the stages of relationships from beginning to end. So you'll get, the oh, we met, oh, I like you, oh, we're dating, oh, we're in the honeymoon phase, everything's so beautiful. Oh, but then you got control issues. Oh, there go the trust issues. Oh, there go all these things.
Left turn.
But this is it's actually the woman though, which is, a bit different for most people, because when a female and a male read it, there's gonna be different perspectives to it, because me as the woman writing it is telling how I painted a picture perfect situation of what our relationship could be, and how I expect it to go, just to find out, my trust issues kick in, my, control issues that I didn't know were present kicked in. The male goes out and whatever happens, and now the story changes. So the chapters that were all about love and, oh, this is the one, I love you, I'm here. Next thing you know, it's gritty, it's smack talking, and then you gotta read it to see how it ends, whether,
So
It's-
you telling
it's
a
love
story
forever or
through-
war
through
forever.
Poems through a set of poems, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dope concept,
Yeah,
right
but,
there.
and it's I like the timeline concept.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
timeline concept definitely plays a big role, because it is a timeline when entering into relationships, and within that timeline, you're right. It starts out with like, yo, I really like her. Yo, she might be the one that, and then you have that honeymoon phase with like, yeah, this is the one. But then you start realizing like, yo, she crazy. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I think we might be a little bit too crazy. But when relationships work, y'all learn not only to accept y'all crazy, but to help each other grow from that crazy. Like, yo, you ain't gotta be crazy. Like we can learn each other,
Right.
and be better. And so I do want to see what the ending is, because I like how you left that cliffhanger. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit, but here's the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Hold
I
on
ain't
to
gonna
it.
give it all to you now.
I like
So
that.
how they get that book? How's that work?
So I'm actually going to have 3 book signings. We'll get into the social media stuff at the end. But basically, you'll follow me on social media. You'll stay updated. I'm going to do a book signing tour. So I'm going to have a book signing in Raleigh, a book signing in Fayetteville, and a book signing in Charlotte. After those book signings, then you'll be able to get it on all types of platforms. But I got to do my world tour first.
I like that.
My state tour.
This your girls tour or world
Girls
tour?
tour. I like that, and especially because, like I said, as far as like we were talking about with the topic, you are your brand, you are your business. So the way that you're going about it, like we was just talking to Ken, he was talking about networking and meeting people and building those relationships. The way that you're expressing your book, going to book, having book signings, letting people know way early that this is what's coming and this is what it's about, is excellent branding and marketing. How did you understand I'm not gonna say how, when and how did you understand the concept of having to market for yourself to help build your successful brand?
Right. That's something that it's a step each day, honestly, because when I first learned how to do marketing and how to sell myself, it was my first job. I was like 16 years old and I was at a flea market, and man had me sit outside on the bench and just talk to every single person that went by. And I didn't want to do that, but it helped get me out of my comfort zone. So that was the first step into marketing, selling. Then I found out when you know what you're talking about, you want to talk about things more. You want to sell it more. When it's you and you could profit from it and it's your brand, that should give you an incentive to also want to go harder and push it. But the best way to market, honestly, to me, is just to be yourself. Don't be fearful. Just put it out there. Just put it out there. It ain't going to come overnight. That's the thing. Like, I like fast results. And certain things are slower than others, but I also have many things that I do dip my hand in, so that way I'm not too pressed on how one thing goes. I do what I can there, and if I can't do anything else for that moment, let it sit, let it grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you plant a seed or put a plant or a seed, I'll let Bear talk about the plants. I'm the plant pusher because I'm not, I can't do all that. But once you, put the seed in and you water it and all that, let it grow. You ain't got to keep fiddling with it, touching, doing too much. Things plan out and work out how they supposed to, honestly. And if you just stay consistent and just keep pushing no matter how long it take, it'll work out itself, honestly. Like, just keep pushing.
So it sounds like one of the keys to operating a successful business as an artist is being able to brand yourself and network and market yourself. Fair to say?
Yeah, consistency.
Consistency. With that. Okay.
Because if you go out there and I do a show or I do something and I didn't give everybody my IG to follow me and they were listening like, oh, she tight, she nice, like, how can we keep up with you? And then you go to my page and you ain't seen no music, no nothing, no,
Just turn off.
Yeah. It's like you ain't really doing nothing for real. You talking, but you ain't walking.
Right.
So at some point you got to walk. This book was my walk because with the music is a little more tricky, and once again I need results. So ain't no producers knocking on my door right now. Ain't nobody trying to sign me right now, So I'm like, I'm gonna make something happen myself, and I do got a team behind me, like y'all was saying earlier. A team is sufficient.
Yeah, that's definitely I think that's one of the most major things to have as far as operating a successful anything, brand or business, even if it's just yourself, even if it's 3 people, it's 3 of y'all, and all 3 of y'all have y'all different strengths to build one strong unit. Then yeah, stick at it. Like that's the team for you. I'm trying to think of how I want to phrase this. Now, I mean, for specifically for spoken word artists, rappers, singers, poets, because those 3 lanes, music and poetry, you would say they would go hand in hand, but they are 2 totally different lanes.
Yeah.
I definitely understand. I definitely see how those lanes don't always go together.
Right.
So what was how did you make them work together for yourself?
Well, I have a certain, the way that I make music, the type of music that I make, it's not really what you hear on everybody's station. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I have certain artists and influences who I look up to, and it's not the style that everybody wants to hear all the time. You know, like. I listen to J. Cole and the Jizz and all them, and they be, turn that off. So what I did was, first of all, I didn't care. I kept writing what I wrote, and then when I did rap, people like, man, it sounds like spoken word. Okay, you know how I feel. If that's what you say it is, we'll call it spoken word. Is it gonna sell with spoken word? Sure. So I don't care about the labels. You know what I mean? Because some people might call it rap, some will call it R&B, some will call it poetry. I don't care what it is, but you can't tell me it's not good. It's good. That's what it is.
You just create and let them figure it out.
Yeah, you figure it out.
So you remove the box.
Remove the box.
I like that. There is no box. So with that being said, can you bless us with something?
Some bars.
Bars.
Yeah. Let me see what I got for y'all.
Listen up.
Ooh.
Just so you know, you're one of my favorite poets right now.
Oh,
You're our
word.
first poet up here.
You are our first poet.
Oh, word.
We appreciate y'all listening.
Well,
Poet.
Well, legit said he was a poet.
I take that back. He is a poet.
He is a poet.
It's in his name.
His name is legit poet. You're our first female poet.
Yeah.
Boom.
Definitely that.
I
Look.
could take that.
Look. See, thanks, y'all. Don't worry.
There's a lot of firsts in here.
Don't worry. I got you, assistant pimp.
You know how real players mess up too. But,
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and give y'all something real quick. Okay. Y'all put me on the spot, but I'm not gonna leave y'all hanging today. I ain't gonna leave y'all hanging
got
today.
you on the local plug.
Try to edit the curse.
And that's what I'm over here working though, right here, is making sure I don't slip up on y'all. All right. This is more than the surface. It's all skin deep. I don't care what they say. Talk is cheap. The walk is steep. Most all of my homies asleep. I tried to teach. Honestly, I struggle to be exactly who I see when I look in that mirror. Them shadows talk back. They can make you see things clearer. Here's the realer picture. I gotta steer her. I cannot fear her. Cause them demons that cause them giants that I'm facing feeling like they bigger. I'm just triggered. Keep my eyes on my purpose. Cause I had a vision. I'm just praying that someone would care to listen, but if they didn't, promise I won't be offended. It's written, I'ma still glisten and beat that mission. It's kind of crazy how it all turned out. I was trapped in illusions, planting words of doubt, wishing for betterment along these lonely routes. The road is found, I'm on the ground, I own my ground. I love this sound, could call it my vibration is raising. Times I was patient, they was hating, that's Satan. Or whoever you referring to was black or blue, whatever that's gonna get you through, that's how we do. No time for hating and the world so cold. No time for waiting till we both grow old. No time for fearing how it all unfolds. The story's been told. We digging for gold. We gotta be bold, yeah.
Bars.
Yo, we gonna have to holler at El Plaga. I feel El Plaga's challenge. You know what I mean?
El Plaga's challenge.
Yeah, this we might be on to something right now.
Right. So, you do spoken word. You do music also.
Oh yeah.
You do music also.
Yeah.
So
I do it all.
So you sing? Do you sing also? Or do you hit it with the Drizzy singing or the J. Cole sing? Like
I hit it with the J. Cole singing.
But you know how to hold the note.
shout out hold.
Yeah.
I hit it with the J. Cole singing. Yeah.
Right.
You gonna feel the pain.
No. All right, y'all. You are tapped into the local plug. We are here with Miss Just C. I got my man
Magic Baby.
and this is your boy Brent Van Wilder. We got some Russ and Benny the Butcher featuring Black Thought coming up. We also got some Rhapsody featuring J. Cole. Y'all stay tapped into the local plug here on Oak 93.5 FM. We still got some more with Just C. Y'all stay tuned. Oak 93.5 FM. You are tapped into the local plug. This is your man Brent Van Wilder. I'm here with our special guest Just C, and I got my homie.
It's your boy Magic.
We want to thank everybody for tapping in tonight.
Yes. Appreciate y'all listening.
We want to thank Just C for coming up
Yeah. Thanks y'all for having me.
all day. Yo, we We definitely appreciate you letting us be the first to read your book.
Our first female poet.
First female poet.
You know what I mean?
Artist slash songwriter
Artist slash writer slash
Slash entrepreneur.
bars
all
for
of
sale.
that.
All of that. She is the brand. She is
Yeah.
the business. Where can they find you at? What's your IG, your Twitter? Where can they interact with you?
Tap in.
Keep it real simple. So y'all could find me on IG at xo.justc. That's JUSTCI. You can also catch me on my other IG page. It is Just C. So JUSTCI .the vision, THE, and then vision. So
Yeah.
y'all could catch me there.
Check
Gotcha.
her out. Check her out. Tap in. Get connected with her. She's got bars.
Bars.
Yeah.
So once again, we want to thank everybody for tapping in. You are tapped into the local
Local
plug.